Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back on the Uncle Sharma channel. How are you guys doing? Here we are today for the final match of this half of the season, and well, it's come around. It's come around pretty quickly, right? It's crazy actually. You think back, and I just remember, doing a watch along for our first match of the season against Genoa, and now we're here already for the 19th match of the season. Officially, as Mo says, winter champs, baby. We are winter champs, and it feels good. Feels real good to be the winter champs. I mean, I've said in the past, I really don't care about being winter champions. It makes zero difference to me. How being winter champions, we saw happen with Milan last season. Being winter champions, it means nothing, but it just means you season. I don't know why it's such a thing in Italy being winter champions. I don't hear about it in any other league. But in Italy, they seem to make quite a big deal out of being winter champions. But we'll take it. It just means that we're top of the league for the moment. And statistically, and I'm sorry if it's buffering because this, as I said, I'm using quite an old laptop and it seems to be quite slow today. It seems to be struggling with the stream, but I apologize if it's coming through a little laggy. But as long as you can hear me, that's the most important. But yeah, statistically, I believe, um, especially over the last decade, is pretty much guaranteed when you win the champions that you win. But obviously, it was because in the past 10 years, it was Juventus most of the time being winter champions. So it turned out that they would win it in the end anyway. But last year it didn't happen, and then with Napoli. But I think overall, if you look at the whole, it's like over 60, 65%. Usually the winter champion goes on to win the Serie A. So it's a good indicator, but again, it means nothing to me. And thank you everyone that's in the house already. Tommy, my guy, of course, regular, always in the house. Jake in the house as well. Let's end this half season with a banger, exactly in front of our fans. And one thing we have to talk about, in Germany, they've just announced that they're gonna play behind closed doors for the rest of the season. In Scotland, they've announced something similar. I think they're only allowing up to 500 fans. So this could potentially be, one of the last times for a little while that we get to see, crowd. And I don't know, we've seen how strict Italy have been with the regulations in the past with COVID and stuff. So it could really, it could be one of the last times we see, um, 50,000 people in the stadium. It might be again to going down to reduce, but hopefully not behind closed doors. But if things are progressing as they are again with COVID, then we might see another behind closed doors football, um, which we don't want to see. And Suning and the accountants at Suning headquarters and Inter headquarters definitely don't want to see empty stadiums. They want to make sure that as many people. We'll see, but we know with Interisti we pack out stadiums. And actually, I quickly tuned into Juventus versus Cagliari, and the stadium is half empty, guys. Like, it's the struggle. It looks like it's behind closed doors right now. Like it's some sort of strict regulations with them. It's not even half full, the Allianz or the whatever it's called now, the Juventus Stadium, and it's not even a big stadium. It's only like 41,000 capacity. Um, yeah, that's, I guess, all, and maybe too expensive and just not attracting fans to the stadium. But Interisti, we've been number one of the average attendance for a few years now. Since we come back to the Champions League, we've been the highest average attendance in Italy, which makes me proud of being Interista. Let's see who else is in the house. We've got Eduardo as well, of course, another channel member in the house. What's up, brother? And yes, I think definitely January, February will be the decisive month for us. It's so this year is, if you know, or if you don't know, the way they made the scheduling this year is not mirrored. Usually it's like we played Genoa first game of the season. This year it would be Genoa first game of the second half of the season, but no, this year the second half of the season is completely different. And for Inter, the schedule is awful. As we know, it's that period where we have the Supercoppa, Napoli, Milan, and then we have Liverpool. Like it's a crazy, crazy period. I think we have Atalanta in there as well. Like literally, we play all the big teams. So literally, if Inter come out of that period top, or even if we're like, even if you're -1, -2, -3, I think we win the title then. Because after that, you don't. We've played all the big matches, and then until May, we're gonna have to just play everyone else. Like I'm sure, like they're thinking. I think in theory, it makes sense to have this kind of not mirrored, um, fixture list, but then now it's awful. Like, and then for the league as well, the big matches towards the end, and now in that period, and we pretty much all the rest of the Serie A to play, then it's not gonna be very interesting to watch for the outsiders, and the league might be decided much earlier. So we'll see, but definitely that January February period, how this Scudetto race will go. What's up, Loom? Lord Figo. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that towards the end after I do my preview. We'll talk about what like that. Hey, brothers in the world, awful, and it was barely ever packed out. And yeah, it looks like that right now. Doing some good work, brothers of the world. What's up, Emiliano? Yeah, Lord Figo, wishing happy holidays to all the Inter fans. I like it. Yeah, coming up to Christmas, New Year, so hoping everyone is well, and hoping everyone will get to enjoy it with their family or friends, or if you want to enjoy it by yourself, if that's what you prefer. But enjoying it, that's what matters. Edith says, let's not drop any points from now on. Let's widen the gap between Inter and Napoli. Now, exactly, that's the aim, making sure that before we get to that January February period where we'll probably drop some points there, like, and there's nothing wrong with dropping points in that period. Already there's a little gap in between, so we are allowed to have a match or two off, and then we can just recover after that period. So it's vital to keep winning and not drop any points. Exactly, Adin. Apparently Sadio Mane and Mo Salah will miss the first leg due to African Cup. Will that? No, I don't think they will miss the first leg. The African Cup of Nations is done, I believe at the beginning of February. So I think they should be back, and that depends if how far they go in there. It doesn't necessarily mean that Egypt and was he from is he Senegalese? Mane. Yeah, so it doesn't. Yeah, their country also has to get to the final stages. So I think they will be fine. But of course, there could be. Do they get injured on the African Cup of Nations? Do they pick up any injuries, or do they come back tired? They have to travel to Africa, and then the quarantine rules and COVID. Like there's also, and they're also they're not 100% sure that actually is happening, the African Cup of Nations, yet. I think they're going to make a decision on that. Yeah, that's what I mean. So we'll see what the rules or regulations are on these things. So maybe you might be right that they might miss it, but I'm sure Liverpool will try to make sure that does not happen. They will try to find a way through to make sure that happens. Coutinho potentially in January. One of those rubbish rumors. I have no idea who picked that up. It's just Coutinho ages are way beyond what we can play. What position are we going to try to fit him in the mid role? But Hakan is there, and then of course he would need time to adapt as well in that new position. Like it just makes zero sense to me. And yeah, guys, it seems like it is struggling a little bit. My computer choppy on your side as well. Yeah. So there is rumors that they might call it off, but it depends, I think, on how the COVID situation is in Africa. With the, I'm not actually sure where they're holding the actual, like where the tournament is being held, but it depends, because obviously with the Omicron and the Delta variant, all that kind of stuff, we'll see. Keep an eye on it for sure. What kind of players do you think we could reinforce during January window? We've talked about this. It's difficult because numerically we're fine. Like numerically, this Inter team is fine, and off budgetary wise, I don't think there's much that we can do. It's unless someone like Vecino leaves to make space in the midfield for someone. And then up front, still what we need is probably like a proper Dzeko backup, like a proper, big number 9, like a Scamacca, like a Belotti, or like someone like that. But there's not really too many gaps in the squad. That's why Inter are favorites for the Scudetto, because we've got a deep squad as well. You could say, of course, we can improve on a Barella backup, or you can improve on the the Hakan position, or a Brozovic backup, which is something that this Inter team has needed for a while. But it's not the window to do that, the general, and we don't have the money. So unless like someone like Sanchez, who's got big salary, or a Vidal, another big salary, or somewhere leaves. I don't see anything happening, honestly speaking. Yeah, I apologize for the latency on my side. It's just this old laptop really is struggling at the moment. I'm hoping to sort the situation out soon, but it's really painful, my laptop situation at the moment. I apologize, guys. It's in Cameroon. Oh, nice. So it's in Samuel Eto's end. Appreciate that, Zanar. And I'm hoping they can go ahead with it. Winning the AFCON is the first step in Nigeria's World Cup winning run. Yeah, man, you guys must surely be kind of one of the favorites, right, for that, especially with Osimhen coming back to fitness now. I am definitely going to be tuning into the African Cup of Nations if it goes there, sure. Nandes, Uruguayan friends all are gone. Yeah, I'm hearing that Cagliari, Godin wants to leave, Cáceres wants to leave. Nandes wants to leave anyway. So yeah, I keep saying I can see one player that I can see coming in January is probably Nandes, because he wants to leave so bad. He's twerking for Inter like so badly, and then his adaptability. He could even play, a more of a ball winning midfielder kind of role in that, but it could also even be a vice Brozovic in that. Like, he's just a versatile player. That's one player I could see coming in January. But again, I don't see that happening unless Vecino or someone from midfield leaves. Just numerically, we're fine. As Ozilio said, I know Ozilio lies at times as well, but as Ozilio said, we're pretty much settled. I don't really see many players out there being able to improve our team in January. Yeah, I've seen a couple of nights released to me documentaries. I'll definitely check it out. They always release some good, high quality content. And yeah, if you haven't watched, guys, I made a video about Christian Eriksen today. It's kind of like a tribute to his time at Inter, like a goodbye almost, and a timeline of his time at Inter. So if you haven't checked it out, make sure you check it out. I think it's a little bit of a different type of content from my usual stuff, a little more thought out, and get like videos and stuff just to make it. I was inspired by Rabona TV and how he does his videos. Need the bench players, yeah, exactly. In this period, the bench players are going to really come in clutch, or they're going to have to come in clutch, because we're going to have to rotate. Inzaghi can't just keep playing the same play time, especially in that January-February period. So it's going to be definitely they're going to need to step up a little bit. Vidal, Gagliardini, Vecino, if he stays, all of them, man. Osimhen, my gunman. Yeah, man, definitely one of my favorite players in the Serie A for sure. Hopefully he comes back soon, but not too soon for Napoli, just in time for Nigeria. We can drop 9 points and still be at 5 if Milan and Napoli win those same games by the end of February. We have a clear way and out. Yeah, exactly. We could. That's the blessing of that super difficult schedule all in like the 2 weeks, because after that, the schedule is on a downhill trajectory. So in theory, even if you do drop points behind the other teams, you can catch them up. Hey, my guy Vivek in the house, Sport 231. He's I took his San Siro virginity, and you guys make sure, with all this stuff going on, if you can, try to go to the San Siro, to the Meazza Stadium at some point. Try to go before they take it down, which today they said they've announced the official project for the stadium. As a fan of both Inter and Liverpool, I think the game will be quite open and closer than think. Liverpool always exposed on the counter with 2 fullbacks bombing forward. Yeah, exactly, bro. I think Spurs kind of exposed players created. It gave me a lot of hope because I was probably one of those people that didn't really, as soon as it was announced, I was quite negative with it. But it depends on the injury status. If Van Dijk is out, if Fabinho's out, one of those type of main kind of defensive stalwarts is out, you're definitely susceptible at the back. It could be a very open match. But if you're like full strength, that's when I really, really feel negative about that game. Of course, we checked it. I forgot that he introduced to the register role against Fiorentina. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the Ericsson video. Yeah, appreciate you. I spoke about that, what was it, 2 months ago? I made a live stream. I remember pretty much announced already that the populist design was chosen. It wasn't made of design. And I agree with it. That's the design I prefer out of the two. I prefer the populist design out of the other one. I just think it looks a bit nicer, and it keeps that one of the towers as well, one of the existing San Siro towers. That's why I prefer that one too. And it is more greenery. I think it's more eco-friendly than the other one. So yeah, I mean, I like the other one as well, but I definitely prefer the populist design. I'm glad that one won. San Siro has to be there for the 2026 winter Olympics. So yeah, it's not going to be there for a long time. Yeah, it's my laptop today, Keston. I apologize once again. It seems like it's really strong today. Like I can see it physically like lagging in front of me, like it's like a slideshow. So I hope at least you hear me. I know my image might be a bit patchy, but at least if you can hear me, that's good. Ciao Vittorio, good to finally catch a stream live here in Australia. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, let's get into the Torino preview. My boy Snudgest in the house. He's expecting a low-scoring game against Torino. These guys have one of the best defenses in Serie A, better than Milan, and Juric coach Verona into one of the best too. Yeah, exactly, bro. Torino at the moment are the fourth best defense in the league, so they've only conceded 18 goals in 18 games, so they only concede 1 goal per game, which is really, really amazing. Especially when you see, the team that they have. Juric is really one of the, standout coaches in the Serie A when it comes to coaching the defensive side of things. But offensively, they're not great, and as you said, that's probably why we expect a low-scoring game there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the sixth worst attack in the league. Only 23 goals. In the league, only Genoa, Spezia, Cagliari, and Venezia and Salernitana have scored less than them. So even though they have some decent attacking talent, they don't really, create too much. And one of the other reasons why I expect this to be a difficult game is because the way, Juric makes his teams play. Like, remember how we struggled against Hellas Verona, and that Hellas Verona was still pretty much Juric's Verona. Even though it was Di Francesco coaching it, but it was very similar. These guys, Juric is a Gasperini disciple. These are the guys that like to press man for man. Gasperini is the one who's really introduced that to Serie A, and Juric is was his assistant at Genoa, and then took money. He admitted himself that he's taken a lot of inspiration from Gasperini and his team. They don't attack definitely like Atalanta. They don't really push men forward like Atalanta do. But when it comes to their pressing, high pressing, they want to, strangle you with their pressing. Like they're one of the highest pressing teams in the whole league. They go man for man, and that does sometimes also leave them a little bit exposed like Atalanta. But they don't push as far as Atalanta, so they do manage to kind of recover better. But their away form is awful, Torino, which gives me confidence going into this. They only have 5 points from 8 games away from home. On the other end, they're actually they've played 2 more games than Inter at home, but they've got the exact same points as Inter, 20 at home. So they're very much a home team this year, and they struggle away. So tomorrow is going to be away at the San Siro. So that gives me confidence coming into this match that we'll be able to beat them. But I'm not expecting an easy match. I'm definitely not expecting a big scoreline like the last few matches, like against Salernitana, against Cagliari. I'm not expecting these kind of 4-0, 5-0 big score lines with players balling out completely. It's going to be a difficult match. These guys make it difficult. They make a lot of fouls. As I said, they press really hard. They try to make it as difficult as possible. And as Costa says, yeah, they have struggled against they did struggle against Verona. I did catch the highlights of that match. They didn't look great, and they conceded a lot of chances as well. So we can definitely punish these guys if they do try to come and press us high, and if we continue the form that we've been in, and of course if Hakan continues this kind of MVP form that he's in, Lord Figo is also very confident about this match. And you can see the lineup of the predicted lineup of Torino. Not particularly many standout players. The one player I picked out, kind of, as I always say in my thumbnail, I try to pick out a player, and the player in the thumbnail is Tommaso Pobega, who actually looks like Skriniar's lost cousin, the Skriniar's Italian brother or something. Very weirdly looks like a lot like Skriniar. But yeah, Pobega is this big midfielder on loan from Milan. Scored in the last match, and I think he's got like 2 or 3 goals this season as well. But he's an interesting talent. He did well at Spezia last year as well. He's one of those, he's like a Gagliardini type midfielder who gets into the box, makes late runs into the box, and is quite physical, wins a lot of battles in midfield. And next to Sasa Lukic, who's another decent midfielder. And of course, another guy that I like in the Torino team is Singo, the right wing back, who actually was one of my preferred choices after Hakimi left. I thought, he could have been, if we didn't sign Dumfries, I thought he could be pretty, perfect fit because he's played in a wing back formation, and he's always looked quite good, especially against Inter. He gave Ashley Young a torrid time last season, I remember. But yeah, defensively, apart from Bremer, who is really, really good, probably one of the top 5 defenders in the league this season, like very impressive, and he's linked with us for the right reason. And I do really like Bremer. If De Vrij ever leaves, which I hope he doesn't, but if De Vrij does leave, he would be my preferred choice from within the Serie A, unless we want to go out for the Ginter and try to go for the cheap free transfer route, which also makes sense. But yeah, apart from that, Ricardo Rodriguez, we know the guy, not a great defender from his time in Milan, and watching him for Switzerland. And Gigi, the other centre back they have in the 3, also not great. Milinkovic Savic, the goalkeeper, he used to be. I didn't really like him before, and he didn't get much playing time before when Sirigu was there. But this season he's kind of stepped up. But again, I think he's a susceptible keeper who we can target. And yeah. Apart from that, not too many standout players, to be honest. Let's see what your comments are saying. Mehdi saying 3-1 Lautaro, Dzeko, Vidal, and Saudi penalty. Yeah, of course we've got the threat of potentially if Saudi plays. He's not really been a starter for them this season, but maybe against Inter they'll probably start him. And yeah, with Lautaro and Dzeko rumored to be starting, I can see a goal each from them. That's for sure. And Vidal, Arturo Vidal, you guys know this channel is an Arturo Vidal fan club channel. No Arturo Vidal slander is allowed here. And it looks like, according to the Sky Sport lineups prediction, that he's going to be starting in this match. Not Gagliardini, but as we know, you can't rule out Gagliardini until the last moment, because Vidal himself, you can't rule out him getting some sort of fever or like sore throat or some sort of hangover from his party the night before. The last few times when he's been predicted to start, he's either got injured or got some sort of fever. So I'm not going to believe if Vidal is starting until I actually see Vidal on that pitch, and it's not Gagliardini. But I expect a big match from Vidal, and I think we do need someone like Vidal in this match, or Gagliardini. Like, it's going to be quite a midfield battle in there. As I said, these guys make it very difficult. They don't really play nice football. They make it cagey. They make it quite rough. So we do need someone like a Vidal or a Gagliardini to win a lot of midfield battles in there, especially in the absence of Barella. And as we said, this could be the experiment time for Inzaghi to see who is going to be the Barella replacement for the Liverpool match. because he is going to miss at least one of those Liverpool matches, if not both of them. So we definitely need to find out who is the right midfielder for that match. In my mind, it is Arturo Vidal, but Arturo Vidal doesn't have 90 minutes in his legs. Arturo, I only would trust him for like 50, 60 minutes. But it's an interesting one. Of course, in the ideal world, it would be Stefano Sensi, but in the ideal world, that is. But we know the Sensi is just completely unreliable physically. And in my mind, it definitely wouldn't be either Vecino or Gagliardini. But we know Inzaghi really likes Gagliardini, so I can imagine turning up at Anfield with Gagliardini in the starting lineup. Yeah, I've got the expected lineups below, Keston. What's up, Nerazuri NL? I need to go into Christmas break with a win, of course, definitely. Everything Vidal does is awesome. Yeah, of course, man. Vidal is just an awesome dude with the awesome mohawk. My king, Arturo El Rey. Winter champions, let's go. Of course, the most frightening for the Inter defense will be the counter. Inter will possess the ball high, but other than that, nothing special. Yeah, they're not even particularly that good on the counter because apart from Singo, they don't really have many quick players. If Brecolo plays, he's an interesting, Croatian winger with decent pace. As I said, Singo is really their only really quick player that I would fear on the counter attack. I haven't really seen them score many goals on the counter attack either. Sanabria is more of a heading. I think he's got quite a few headed goals this season. Sanabria, he's a threat in the air, even though he's not the biggest player and the biggest striker. Ahmad in the house. Just hope to see. I hope to see Sensi, but I don't know if this is the match for Sensi. To be honest, Torino are quite a physical team. I can see him getting injured. But him not playing against Salernitana was pretty much confirmation that Inzaghi doesn't trust him, just like how Conte lost faith in his physical abilities by the end of his time. Sensi, as I said, that's still one of the, he still is, I think, the best third center midfielder. Of course, Hakan right now is in the form of his life, so not even Luis Alberto, Milinkovic-Savic can push out Hakan from this team at the moment. But in theory, it should really be Sensi in there. But that's life. That's life. We can't rely on a guy who can't stay fit. But that was a great player to have in the Champions League with all his experience. He thinks he's going to win it every year. Yeah, man. And people were clowning him last year when he was talking about winning Scudetto early on. And everyone was like, don't say it, don't jinx it. And he was talking about, going far in the Champions League because the Champions League is the only thing that this guy misses from his amazing trophy haul. Literally, that's all he misses. Obviously, a World Cup as well. But, realistically, this is the one thing that he misses from his amazing trophy haul. And I think he is hungry to try get it before he retires. I spoke about this earlier, Vittorio. I don't believe the 15 million to spend in the January window, especially if it looks like the stadiums are going to close once again, or there's going to be reduced capacity once again. I don't believe it unless we sell or loan out someone. I don't see anyone coming in. And it looks like it'll be the starting three centre backs: Skriniar, De Vrij, Bastoni. There's no point rotating in this match, to be honest, because it's the last match before the winter break. So you just go out full strength. I think Barella, if he wasn't suspended, he would have played. Do you think? Let me know in the comments. Do you think we're going to keep the 450 minutes plus without conceding a goal? Are we going to keep a clean sheet against Torino? Let me know in the comments below. I think we will. I think we're going to keep another clean sheet. I think we're going to go. We're going to finish with a strong performance. That's my feeling going into this. Inzaghi doing a very good Guardiola impersonation with Inter against smaller teams. Yes, a big match win, always a plus, but you need to dominate the smaller team. Exactly. This is where you win the Scudetto. You can, okay, so you can't drop too many points in big matches, but really and truly, you're going to win the Scudetto by beating the 16 other teams in the league, getting the 3 points from the 16 other team. If you drop points against 3 or 4 teams here and there, it's not the end of the world. If you keep getting those 3 points against all the smaller teams, that's where it adds up at the end. Mikey D and more, where is Lord Figo? Shouts out. Make sure you shout out my guy Lord Figo. Just hope whoever that wants to catch COVID, catch it now and be ready to go. Oh man, that's the one thing for sure. In that busy period, do not want to lose guys to COVID because it's just painful because you never know when they can come back, and you don't know in what state they come back. Because COVID affects people differently. Some players are affected by it. Some people are completely, unaffected by it. And then it can spread through the team as well, which is the annoying part. So definitely, hopefully, avoid it. Or as Eminem says here, catching it now, so we avoid it later. But fingers crossed, man. Fingers crossed. They stay at home. Hopefully over the Christmas period, these guys don't go out and party or anything. Just stay home with your families and calm, and don't do anything stupid. Don't do what Grealish and Foden did the other day, where apparently they went out partying and Guardiola had to leave him out of the team. Don't want to see any boys out doing a Raja Nainggolan. Keston says we'll keep that clean sheet. I like it. Costas is very confident. He says half-time 2-0, full-time 3-0. I'm going to go for a 2-0 victory. I think Lautaro's going to get one to continue his improving form, and then one of the defenders, I reckon De Vrij or Skriniar, will score one from a corner. Of course, a Hakan assist from a corner. Yeah, exactly. Costas one surely from a free kick / corner. Eduardo's only going for a sneaky 1-0. Yeah, I could. Yeah, as Jeff said, I'm expecting this to be quite a low scoring affair. I'm not expecting us to be creating too many chances in this one, just because how Torino play. And yeah, and on the other end, I don't see Torino really creating too much either. Interesting question, Uche. Has Dumfries done enough to keep the starting spot? I think for now, when Darmian comes back, it's still Darmian's starting spot for sure. But I think he's done enough now to have that doubt now in matches, whereas before it was like, Darmian starts, especially in the big matches, Darmian starting. But I think, as I said, especially against Liverpool, I would be very tempted to start Dumfries against Liverpool because of his counter-attacking ability in the team. And I've always preferred, I always said in my previews, in the Champions League ones as well, I felt like he should be starting. He should be the starting Champions League player, Dumfries, and Darmian be our Serie A guy. So I think he's definitely, took the chance that he's been given by Darmian's injury. He's took advantage of, the unfortunate injury of Darmian. But Darmian is back now. I think he's going to be part of the squad against Torino, but he's not actually going to play, or maybe might get some minutes. But he's back to train with the team. I believe I saw Tuco Correa also took part in some training, but I think he's still out. I think Ranocchia is still out. But yeah, the injury list is getting less and less now, which is good. Trying someone in Barella's position might be tricky. Yeah, he is going to be tricky for sure. But we'll find out. we haven't really done it too much. Atalanta dropped further points, like 6-10. Oh yeah, where's the Atalanta score? Let me check. Did they finish 0-0? Jeez, Genoa holding Atalanta to 0-0. Oh my god, I went full Atalanta in my fantasy Serie A team. But yeah, more drop points from Atalanta, which is good for us. So they're not, right up our asses. Yeah, they're on 38 points. Nice 5-point gap between us and Atalanta, which we can make into 8 points. Geez, Emiliano, another 4-0 now. I definitely don't see 4-0. Torino, they're definitely not going to concede that many goals. But that's my opinion. You might be right. Come back in my match reaction tomorrow and I'll be referencing you, Emiliano. I think we can keep a clean sheet if they score a scrappy. Yeah, if Torino scores, it's either going to be a scrappy goal or like a power driver from like 25 yards. Exactly. Dumfries has been brilliant since his inclusion, 2 goals. I think he just needs to improve his final ball, like against Salernitana as well. He should have had some assists. Denzel is very useful. You can develop him into a super sub when you need a line breaker attacker until he develops his defensive awareness. Yeah, exactly. But he's only going to develop that awareness if you keep playing him as well. So I think he deserves to be continued to be played until, Darmian is fully fit. Rumors out here, Real Madrid want Denzel Dumfries. I don't really believe that. Do you see the best Serie A 11? Yeah, the CES / the Opta ones. Andanovic made it. I mean, shouts out to him. Keeps mudding us, but yeah, in that list, Lautaro was in it. Handanovic was in it. Like, there was some questionable picks in there in general. So yeah, I'll make my own actually. Thanks for actually reminding me, Ahmed. I'm gonna make a video over the winter break, my Serie A team until now. So that'll be an interesting one. Vidal has to start for Barella, especially in Champions League. The guy was born for the big occasion. Yeah, I agree. Michael in the house says Lautaro and Gagliardino. Yeah, well, it looks like Gagliardino's not starting, but we've seen even when he comes on a substitute recently, he's been able to grab a goal. So yeah, that could be. He could be right there. He could be right. Maybe a Vidal goal. Yes. We went from leaking goals to now having the second best defense in the league. Yeah. I think it was just a matter of time. It was about finding the balance, and that was just going to come with time. We said that from the beginning on this channel. It's just calma. We just need to give Inzaghi time to find the right balance. And yeah, we've conceded. Yeah, as I said in the scroller down below, compared to last season, now we're on plus 3 points. We've scored 3 more goals, and we conceded 7 less goals. And I know Conte wasted most of last season trying that 3-4-1-2 high press system for a long time, but at the same time, we talk about how super attacking this team is, but at the same time, we also need to praise it for the defensive solidity. So definitely, Inzaghi's done good work on both ends. And as I said, I think people now are trying to make out that the Conte team was kind of like some sort of super terrorist defensive team, but there's a reason why we scored 100 goals in the calendar year. It wasn't Conte's team contributed to that as well. What's all this about big occasions? Yeah, but that's Tommy. That's one occasion. Like you have to look at his whole career, and this guy is a big match player. We saw against Juventus last year as well. Of course, that stands out as a blip, and of course he is quite a hot-headed guy, so I wouldn't be surprised if that happens again. But you're remembering the one blip in his amazing career. I'm not sure. I don't have any insider information on this, but from what I understand, the Onana deal is pretty much 95% done. From what I know, he hasn't signed it yet, which obviously means that until it's signed, it's not done. But unless like someone like Barcelona seriously comes in for him, if they sell Ter Stegen, I don't see Onana going anywhere else because he would be getting playing time. He would be become a main guy for us, so it makes sense for Onana to come to Inter over any other team. Thank you. Appreciate you liking the Ericsson video. You read that Lukaku wants back at Inter. Would you take him? As Auxilio said, yeah, we'll take him back on a loan. No, we can't afford Lukaku now. His wages is too much. And yeah, like even if it was just a loan, I'm sure it would be very expensive loan. He's out of our reach now. Once a player goes to the Premier League, unless it's like in a year when things have gone really bad and his value is really dropped, then it's different. But right now, he's out of our reach now for a little bit. Maybe in a year, let's take a look. Maybe in the summer, if things have gone really bad, and maybe we've recovered financially, we'll see. But yeah, no, it's a no from me. Yeah, and I heard Onana's agent is in Milan this week, so I think it's probably going to be, signing the contract maybe this week or in the coming days. Exactly, Lakaka. Nah, Dzeko is clear. Yeah, I'm not one of those guys that is going to claim like now where we don't need Lukaku. Like Lukaku would have been amazing in this team. We probably would have been even better with Lukaku in this team, but Dzeko, it brings a different level technicality wise and the way he brings in players into play, and even goals wise he's contributed similar numbers. So I miss him, but I don't miss him. But yeah, guys, 40 minutes match preview. Hope you guys enjoyed. As I said, I'm expecting a 2-0 victory. I'm expecting a little bit of a more difficult match than we've had recently, maybe a little bit of a wake up call for the players to remind them that there's decent teams in this league, not just the likes of Cagliari and Salernitana. And yeah, hope you guys, this might be, I'm not sure, it might be my last video before Christmas, but as I said, I'm going to be trying to continue making content regarding Serie A. So I'm going to make my Serie A team of the season until now. I'm going to do transfer news and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, if I don't see you before Christmas, if you celebrate, Merry Christmas. If I don't see you before New Year's, but I think you will see me before New Year's. wishing you happy new year to you and your families and all that good stuff. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm just saying that to people that I won't see. We'll see you tomorrow for the post-match reaction. Make sure you tune in. 5:30 p.m. UK kickoff time here for me. So we'll be seeing you around 7:30, 8, for the post-match. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you're leaving a thumbs up down below for this video. If you enjoy it, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Thank you everyone that came in and interacted. Lord Figos, happy holidays to the Inter fans, of course. Don't worry, Shams, it will be easy. We may even see I don't want to see Folterov for sure. Unless it is again 3-0, 4-0. And yeah, happy holidays everyone. And yeah, see you tomorrow for post-match reaction. Ciao ragazzi, and always Forza Inter.